I'm Insomniac.
And I'm Pops.
And this is Shooting the Shit.
a.k.a. Chatting with Pops.
Was good.
And that one was pretty decent. I'd like to see something.
Alright, this is episode 48 of Shooting the Shit, a.k.a. Chatting with Pops. And today, this guy wanted to go off the path here. And
I did, yeah.
Go with a topic that is not in the list of topics. What do you mean you did?
Well, yeah, but I didn't. You come up. He came up with the topic.
Yeah, because I gave you 2 days to come up with a topic. You didn't come up with anything, so I spitballed some bullshit. Because we have a list of topics we could use, but nobody looked at it.
Well,
I don't pick the topics.
I looked at it, but guys out here that are watching, don't be afraid to put down some topics you want us to talk about, because there's still a lot of the older topics. Some of them we're not sure how to touch, and so we need new topics.
He's not. I didn't really think there's anything hard on that list.
Well, all right, but we need new topics, guys.
Yeah, but you have to leave them on Patreon under where I post this episode. Don't leave them in the comments on YouTube. So today's nice light topic is stuff we want but don't need. And specifically like material items.
You want to start?
No.
No?
Nope.
I have to start.
You always start.
Mafangul.
Plus, I got some thinking to do.
I have to start. Alright. I jotted down some ideas. Because this is a tough one for me. Rob got me here.
The Screw Pop Chapo.
Maybe, like right away, him and his mother was saying, I don't dream or whatever, I guess maybe.
Well, no, I said you don't want anything unless it's free.
Come on. That's not reality either. But I guess I don't, I guess I don't dream. If I'm more of a realist, or I don't know, maybe that hinders me on some level. I mean, I take care of business, but. So anyway, let me start with my list. As I jotted some stuff down on paper here today. So the first thing I thought about was, like, unlike any other guy, we've hit on this stuff in other topics and shows. I'd like a whole mess of cars, man. One that I'm thinking of, and it came roaring up behind me the other day. And it was just like out of the movie Hollywood Nights and Me and Uncle Mike's Carry On. A Shelby Cobra, an actual, kit car. He came roaring up behind me. I looked in my mirror, I was like, what's coming? And I realized it was a Shelby Cobra, and I went, oh, man, I'd love to have a Shelby Cobra. I mean, that's like way, I never talked about that, but a Shelby Cobra, that specific Shelby Cobra, that's like one of the number one cars, sports car-wise, that I would like to have. And then just, I don't want to start naming them all, but, like any other guy, a host of cars, classic and not classic, like, this is going to sound stupid because Rob really used to love BMW. I think he still loves BMWs, but, so he actually taught me and told me about Beamers. I really didn't know much through the years, but it was the 7 Series that I like. Yeah, man. Yeah.
He likes big-ass cars, although it's interesting being that the first car he mentioned was a Shelby Cobra.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he likes big-ass cars.
I do. I would love a 7 Series Beamer, and so on and so forth. There's so many. I mean, he loves Mustangs. I love them too. I'd like,
But he likes the biggest one.
No, well, an old Bullet, man. Old classic Bullet would be nice, like the one Steve McQueen.
Well, no, I was going to say, even in the newer ones, you like the S197s.
Well, no. Well, there it is. The one that Steve McQueen drove in the movie there, right? That was...
No, not that one.
But that one, that nice car.
We're not having.
But anyway, I'm not going to get into every single specific details of the cars, but I'm typically like any other man. I would love, which we talked about this on other things, little spots. We'd have to have like a warehouse. I'd have to have like a warehouse to store the cars, and I would love to drive them all. At least I would have. As I'm getting older, I don't give a shit too much about that stuff. And see, that's where the hang-up comes with this topic today.
It's not a hang-up at all.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of the topic. Shit we don't need, but want.
Okay. So, the cars, a boat. I've been on boats. Family members have had all kinds of boats.
I'd love to have a boat.
Love to go out on boats. Never had a boat. And I wouldn't mind having a pretty big boat. Not too huge, but pretty big. Now, a mansion. Now, some of the other stuff I put on my list I'd like to have in the mansion, like a big movie theater in my mansion. Now, I've got down here a perfect music studio. Let's put that in the mansion. A real perfect music studio to work in, teach in, record in, do music in, have rehearsals in, play. Just, I mean, and you know what I mean, like the end of the road music studio in my mansion. So, you know, being a drummer, I love drum sets of all kinds. I'd like to have every other drum set in the whole world, right? So I own probably 3 right now. Would love to have every other drum set in the world. Guitars as well, basses. There's probably at least that I could think of, 20 or 30 guitars and basses I'd like to have. I think I own, again, 2 or 3 guitars. I used to have the bass. He tore it apart and was doing something with it, never put it back together.
All right, let's talk about this for a second because he keeps bringing this up.
Yeah.
It was a silver tone, one of those ones you get one of those ones you get in a beginner pack. It was a piece of shit, and I
had a
bass out of it. You still have a bass. You have an equally shitty fucking Yamaha in my room. Bass is horrible. Christ, it's gonna bring up this.
But that one's horrible too.
Forever.
That one's fucking horrible too.
They both were horrible.
Yeah, all right. So, but I'd like a whole host of guitars and basses and right. So all these things I would like. I'm typically a guy, but don't need, right? Okay. Now, this, boy, I really would like to have this. I would like a house at the beach and a house in the country. And you know what? With that house in the country, I'd like to own my own mountain and like 1,000 acres of land.
You want to own a mountain?
Yes, 1,000 acres of land and a mountain.
Well, I did say shit you don't need.
No question. 1,000 acres of land, it has to have a mountain.
Like near a mountain, or you want to own the mountain?
No, I want to own the mountain. I want to own, that was brought up, and yes, I would love that. And, 1,000 acres of land, throw me in a whole bunch of horses and animals. Definitely a swimming pool. I mentioned the mansion before. I guess the swimming pool could be behind the mansion. And a fucking huge swimming pool. A huge swimming pool. Here's a good one. My own hot dog truck.
What fun is that if you're making the hot dogs?
Well, but that's the whole idea.
So you want a hot dog truck with the person making the shit?
Yes.
So you want the employee too?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Man, I don't really eat hot dogs often.
Legit.
I don't eat them often anymore, but man, it's still my favorite food, and it's my daughter's favorite food. It might even be you guys up there favorite foods. The guys too here. Man, I love hot dogs. So anyway, my own hot dog truck. Okay, so here comes one, and don't start fucking abusing me, by the way, when I bring this up.
Chevy, you're getting abused.
No Chevy.
Oh, all right.
I'd like a huge fucking Winnebago. And yes, I'd like to have it so I could get the fuck in that thing and travel around this country. A huge, not a little Winnebago. I've been hearing so much about Greg Allman in the book. He bought me Greg Allman's autobiography for Father's Day. And man, they had a Winnebago like forever, the band. And I've heard so much about this Winnebago and them all over the country that I'm thinking, that's something, man, truthfully, that I always thought about. Like, yeah, it's total comfort. You don't necessarily have to go in a motel. I'd probably go in a motel anyway, but man, like a house on fucking wheels, man. A Winnebago. And then, last on my list, and if I think, there's tons of other shit if we go outside this box of material things. But last on my list, I have 2 dogs, Lola and Maggie, and then he has Jet down here, the German Shepherd, all 3 dogs. But man, I would love to have 5 more dogs, and probably most of them would be smaller dogs because I just love my 2 little girls. They're Shih Tzu and a Maltese, and so, things I want but don't need. All right, well, that last one's, the dogs are awesome. They're awesome. So,
I wouldn't mind having 10 German Shepherds. That would be awesome.
So there's my list to get this rolling. You said you had a huge list. You didn't want to start? Go for it.
Well, first of all, watches. Oh man,
oh God,
lots of watches.
Oh Lord, model on.
Very specific watches. I guess we'd kick it off with.
What do you have? Like 50 now?
No, I have 5.
5. Oh, okay.
Well, first of all, I'd kick it off with an Apollo 17 edition of the Omega Speedmaster. That's what I'd really like, one of those. Then there's a watch called the Angelus U20 that I'd really like, but I'd want it customized with the red hands and indices on the outer.
I wonder how many people know what you're talking about.
And who knows?
maybe.
You know, that watch is $92,000 without customizing it, so it's probably around 100-something thousand. I'd like that. I would like, believe it or not, and any of you know how I feel about Rolex will be surprised to hear this. I would actually like a vintage Rolex Datejust with a linen dial.
Rolex sounds good.
No, everybody loves Rolex. I generally don't. You know, outside of the collectability, you know, aspect of them. Although the new Rolex Sky Dweller, I'd take one of those steel with a blue dial. That would be nice. There's a handful of Omegas I want. I won't bore you with those. I need a Tudor Heritage Advisor, and that's a Tudor that probably most of you watching don't even know exists. Everybody knows about the Black Bays, you know, and the Black Bay Heritage.
I'm lost. You're talking about watches right now?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah, the Tudor Heritage Advisor is one of the ones I absolutely want. I want a Parmigiani Ovale.
What? A Parmigiani?
Yeah.
Wow, it sounds like he's gonna have some food. It's a watch.
Oh yeah.
Is that Italian?
It's a long story. Technically not. The hands are actually they're made out of this stuff that almost looks like, you know, those gates that you pull across the doorway. And the watch is actually oval shaped, and the hands actually expand as they get towards the larger part of the oval and contract when you get. Oh man.
Wow. I gotta have some water. How the fuck did that get a name, Parmigiani?
That goes into the history of the brand, which we're not gonna bore anyone with here. If I were to go on with watches all day, though, I could probably fill up this whole episode with watches. So I guess that's a longer version of most of the stuff that comes to mind immediately right now that I would blow a ton of money on that I don't need is watches. Then would be cars. I'm a huge car guy. Although at least watches are an investment. If you buy the right stuff, you will probably at least get your money back or close to it. Cars are the biggest waste of money.
Yeah, they are.
I love them.
Love cars.
I absolutely need.
What is that about men?
Well, it's not all men.
Yeah, well,
you know, I know a handful of guys that
true.
They don't care at all about cars. They
yeah.
don't get it. You know, it just started. Can I put gas in it and will it get me to work? Which I don't understand that. It's like, have you come out to your parents yet? It's what I want to ask them. But
Ma,
anyway, you know,
or in some words, Ming.
I absolutely need a GT350R in my life.
Needs it.
Need it. Actually, yes. This is stuff we want but don't need. But I'm kind of moving that into the need category. I gotta have it at some point. Now, when it comes to exotics, here's something interesting. I don't think almost anybody watching this will have ever heard of this car, but I've wanted it for about 15 years now. I want a 1950-51 Ferrari 166 MM. That's the super classic exotic that I want, although I think that there's like probably 30 of them left in the world. Chances are I'll never even get to see one in person, let alone own it, but I'd like one of those. Let's see, if I were to go something German, that's hard. I'm not really loving most of the German stuff right now, I gotta tell you.
No M series,
The new M4 sounds like flatulence. It sounds like somebody diarrhea down the street.
It is
really gross. The new M3 still sounds good, but I don't really like the way it looks. So screw the German stuff. What else did I want? So we got watches, cars. I would like a house, but here's the interesting thing. You know, I think we talked about our dream house in one episode,
yeah.
So I won't go into super detail with that. Although
I'm smiling because when we talked about the dream house, yeah, that Matt really loved that. Matt.
Oh yeah, but yeah, the missile defense system would still be in there. But interestingly enough, you know, even for stuff that I don't need but want, I still don't want a huge house. I don't know why I don't want a huge house. More watches.
Back to the watches. Bafango.
And I would want somebody I could hire to, you know, keep all my watches wound.
Listen to this shit. Now, Matt was laughing on the missile defense system. Matt, here's a good laugh. Somebody to keep his watches wound. The fuck are you talking about?
Well, they're mechanical.
Oh, all right, you're off the fucking team.
If you have like 300 watches, you can't wear them all every day. You need to keep them going. So somebody's got to do something. I mean, there's watch winder boxes for the ones that are automatic with a rotor. It'll rotate the watch all day. But the ones that are manual wind only, you're going to need somebody to wind those fuckers.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Mechanical watches?
Have another drink.
I'm having a drink.
Yeah, have another one. Come on.
I forgot. One of the last ones I would put in there is cigars. Now, you're going to think this is ridiculous because you're like, don't you already have a ton of cigars? For the most part, yeah. But I don't really ever get boxes of cigars, mostly because of brokenness. I would like to have a gigantic walk-in humidor and have like tons of boxes of cigars. Oh, speaking of that, quick shout out to Gran Habano Cigars, who said they weren't comfortable selling me a discounted box of Persian Kings, despite the fact that I just sold thousands and thousands of those for them after my top 5 video.
What the fuck? Yeah, it's like, what the fuck?
And I didn't even, it's not like I hit them up. By the way, I've had a relationship with them, and it's not like I hit them up like, hey, I just sold tons of this cigar that nobody's ever heard of for you. I want a free box. I didn't say that. I was like, I want a discount. Like, just give me something off, and I will buy a box of 50 Maduros, a box of 50 Naturals. We went back and forth for days, and I got a longer version of, we're not comfortable giving you a discount. After they just made thousands of dollars on my one video.
And they could just look and see that.
Oh, yeah.
What is wrong with these
Because it went from
people?
Nobody's ever heard of that cigar, and they sold sparingly, to like, they sold out of them on the one site that has them. And they don't even want to give you a discount.
And I'm sure you helped. Well, that's nice, guys.
Helped. I'm the reason.
What the fuck?
So, like I said, shout out again to you guys. But anyway, back out of that bitter situation, I would like a ton of cigars.
Let's not start with the cursing, because we don't need a high curse panel up here, But seriously.
Yeah, it's still healing from the last episode. I'm pretty simple, honestly. Watches, cars, cigars, and whatever the hell else I mentioned something else.
Cigars. Watches, cigars, cars. Oh, house.
Whatever.
Back to the missile defense system, Matt.
You gotta have that.
It's fucking kid, man.
I don't care what the situation is. You're getting your ass blown off if you come near my property.
Oh, jeez.
Well,
so
this was fun. Now, he was saying earlier, if you want us to use your topics, and again, we still have the other topics. We keep rotating them in, but some of them are getting stale. Some of them are even time sensitive, as in, they're about issues that happened that now are current.
That's true.
So try to, whatever comes to mind, whatever you want to see us two crazy bastards discuss.
Please.
We need them.
New topics.
So, get to where I posted this on Patreon and leave a comment underneath. Tell us what the topic is. I will add it to the list, and hopefully we'll get to it.
I'm fucking pleading with you, because he's right. Some of the old topics, that's the point. They were time sensitive. You guys brought up things that were going on at the time. We had so much going on. If we talk about a lot of things that were in the news, for instance, it's not now. So there's a lot of topics there, guys. So come on, new topics. And I know you guys like to see me blow my stack and get aggravated about the bullshit going on in the world. Hit us with some topics.
Also, I certainly need the help on Patreon. So if you want to see if you want to see this channel keep going and me not jump off the Golden Gate Bridge, although I'm not anywhere near the Golden Gate Bridge. Sign up at the link at the top of the video description. Sign up on Patreon. You get to see these episodes a week early. Plus, you get a lot of awesome. Most of you watching this, if you're on this channel, you're probably cigar smokers. You get a lot of awesome cigar perks and some other stuff. So, yeah. Okay. We will see you at episode 49. We're approaching a year.
All right, guys. We'll see you soon.